In July 2015, one of the most dangerous men in the world vanished from a maximum security prison, not through a fence, not past a guard. He walked into his shower and disappeared underground. This is the true story of Joaquin Guzman, known to the world as El Chapo, the leader of the Sinaloa Cartel, one of the largest drug trafficking organizations in history. Guzman rose from a poor rural background to become one of the most powerful and wealthy criminals on the planet, controlling a massive share of the drugs smuggled into the United States. This wasn't his first time behind bars. He had already escaped once before, back in 2001, reportedly smuggled out in a laundry cart with the help of bribed guards. After more than a decade on the run, he was finally recaptured in February 2014 and sent to Altiplano, Mexico's most secure federal prison. Altiplano was considered nearly escape-proof. Constant camera surveillance, motion sensors, and guards patrolling every corridor around the clock. But there was one place inside his cell that the cameras didn't reach: the shower area. According to testimony from one of his associates, Guzman began planning his escape almost as soon as he arrived, and this time the plan was far more ambitious than a laundry cart. Outside the prison walls, his associates quietly purchased a small, unfinished house on a plot of land, just far enough away not to draw suspicion, but close enough to reach the prison underground. From inside that house, a construction crew began digging straight down and then straight across toward the prison, more than a mile away. This wasn't a crude hole in the ground. The tunnel had ventilation pipes, electric lighting, and wooden supports to keep it from collapsing. They even installed a small rail system on the tunnel floor with a modified motorcycle rigged to it, built to move quickly through the narrow passage. For weeks, other inmates in nearby cells reported hearing a strange rumbling sound beneath the floor, but no one connected it to an escape. By the summer of 2015, the tunnel had finally reached its target, directly beneath the shower drain of Guzman's own cell. On the night of July 11th, 2015, everything was in place. All that was left was for Guzman to walk into his shower one last time. Security footage released afterward showed him pacing back and forth in his cell before walking calmly behind a low wall near the shower and simply never coming back into view. Behind that wall, a rectangular hole had been cut directly into the shower floor, with a ladder leading straight down into the tunnel below. From there, he climbed onto the waiting motorcycle and rode it along the rail system, all the way to the other end, more than a mile away. He climbed out through the floor of that same unfinished house into the open night air, a free man for the second time in his life. Guards didn't notice he was missing until a routine head count. Hours later, by the time the alarm went off, he was long gone. The escape became a massive national scandal. Mexico's president was informed almost immediately, and the story dominated headlines around the world. Within hours, Mexico launched one of the largest manhunts in its history, closing a nearby airport, setting up highway checkpoints, and deploying hundreds of soldiers. Investigators climbed down into the tunnel themselves, stunned by how sophisticated it was. Ventilation, lighting, rails, all built without anyone above ground noticing. In a strange detail that made headlines of its own, officials searching his old cell found something unexpected in his trash can: a dead sparrow and a small nest by the window. Suspicion immediately fell on the prison staff. Over a dozen employees were brought in for questioning. It seemed impossible that no one on the inside had noticed anything. For many, the escape only added to his reputation. Some saw him as untouchable, even something of a folk hero, while the government scrambled to explain the failure. For the next 6 months, Guzman moved constantly between hideouts in the mountains and remote countryside, always staying one step ahead of the authorities. Eventually, an attempt to arrange a meeting with actors and producers about telling his life story helped investigators track communications that led them closer to his location. In January 2016, Mexican Marines raided a house in the town of Los Mochis based on the intelligence they had gathered. Guzman tried to escape through the sewer system this time, but was forced back to the surface and eventually captured on a nearby highway. 6 months after his escape, one of the most wanted men in the world was back in custody. This time, authorities weren't taking any chances. He was transferred between different high-security facilities to prevent another tunnel from ever being finished. In January 2017, Guzman was extradited to the United States, where he would face trial, far from the tunnels, allies, and territory that had helped him escape twice before. After a lengthy trial, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, this time in one of the most secure facilities in the world, designed specifically to prevent any kind of escape. 2 escapes, 2 recaptures. One of the most elaborate prison breaks in modern history, carried out through a shower drain and a mile of hand-dug tunnel. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more of history's boldest escapes, and let me know in the comments which one I should cover next.